Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about the movie Songbird. Now, this movie, listen, if you saw my trailer reaction, you know I was like, whoa, this feels a little too close to home. I mean, it's literally taking the COVID-19 pandemic and turning it into like, if it turned into basically an apocalypse. It's about COVID-23, and it's been years, and now the strain has mutated where people will die within 48 hours, and if you are immune, you get like a bracelet that you can wear, which means you can go out and about, but obviously you can't see other people because you're literally covered in the COVID, and you can give it to people that especially, you know, obviously I guess the immune people can hang out with each other, but not others. And it's intense. You have to do like a temperature check every morning, and if you fail the temperature check, they're going to come to your house and drag you and anyone who lives with you out and put you into the Q zone, the quarantine zone or whatever, and they just like throw you in there and leave you to die, basically. It's crazy. And apparently it was like really rushed through. Like they got the idea of this at the beginning of the year when COVID-19 hit, and they did a whole lot of filming separately and all that sort of stuff and put it all together. So let's talk about this movie in my spoiler-free review.
Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel.
All right, guys. So you already heard the plot of this movie. And like I said, if you saw my trailer reaction, you know I was like, whoa, this is super close to home. But I will say, almost immediately, it felt a little too extreme to the point where it wasn't close enough to reality where I was that terrified. Because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be scared. This is our reality. This is what's going to happen to us in a couple of years. But first of all, the vaccine's on its way, so I know that's not going to happen. But it felt a little too over the top, but I still enjoyed it. I love this sort of stuff. I love apocalyptic type movies. One thing I will say is they had these really cool UV things like built in the wall next to your door kind of, and if you wanted to pass stuff through, you'd put it in a UV light, would sanitize it, and then you could take it. And I'm like, I want that now. Like, I'd feel much better delivering or getting like food delivery if I had that. You just put it in there and then I take it. Listen, that'd be way better. That thing is cool. I want it. Can we make one that's real? Somebody, please. I bet they'd be super expensive. But what I want to say about this movie is that it was, like I said, it was over the top, right? Did I enjoy this movie? Yes, I thought it was fun. It was definitely entertaining. I love Sofia Carson. I adore her, and I think she was really good in this. And of course, KJ Appa, he was really good too. The two of them were great. I kind of love their chemistry, and as you can probably tell from the poster and from the trailer, they kind of have a thing for each other. Now, they've never physically been in a room together, right? He's a delivery guy. He has immunity, so he's able to go around and courier stuff all over town, and they just kind of fall in love through the door or whatever. We don't really get that story. This jumps into a little later on in their story. They've obviously been talking for a while and have developed these feelings. Now, everybody video chats or posts YouTube videos online, which I thought was really interesting. That's kind of how they all connect with each other. The thing is, there's a couple of different stories here, and I feel like they didn't mesh as well together as they could have. Now, there's also, besides Sofia Carson's character, there is a Demi Moore. She's married and she has a daughter who's immune compromised, and they're kind of doing some stuff, and they have their house, and they're definitely rich and wealthy. And then you also have this young YouTuber singer who has said she went to LA to make a record, and she got stuck basically in the hotel room when all of this stuff hit. So you have her, and she's still putting videos out, and then she's talking to someone, a veteran, who has, as she says, is an expert at the social distancing and quarantining, because he was doing it for a few years before COVID hit. He was basically a homebody and living at home in quarantine to his house. He's in a wheelchair. And then you also have like the courier there, right? Him and his company he works for, which Craig Robinson is his boss, and I love Craig Robinson, and I think he was great in this. You have them and his kind of thing, and he actually works with the military guy. The military guy does a drone, and he helps them keep tabs on his couriers, that sort of thing. Now, I'm not positive that this was filmed in separate locations and some of these actors never saw each other, but it felt like it was obvious to me that is what happened. Like, there was no real connection between like Craig Robinson and anybody. They were always just on video chats, which I get. Obviously this was filmed during the pandemic, so I will let that slide. It just made it feel a little choppy at parts, but I'm okay with that. A lot of the cinematography was cool. There was a lot of like overhead shots of LA just being like completely abandoned, which I thought was really cool. Also not realistic, probably. I mean, as we know, there's so many people that don't believe in this pandemic anyway and go out not wearing masks. So although I guess by 3 years from now they would have died and they wouldn't be out wandering the streets, that's probably what would have happened, unless they have immunity. I don't know. But I liked how they were constantly on the phone and chatting to each other. I thought it was a really interesting way of, you know, this could be the future. It's not going to be. It's very exaggerated, but it was still fun. Now, there's a little bit of crime drama in this. I don't want to get too much into that because I don't want to give stuff away. There's the guy, here's one thing that bothered me during this. There's this guy that is the head of the sanitation department. They're the ones that like come in and take away the sick or the dead, right? They'll drag you away out of your house if you fail your temperature check in the morning. Now, I don't understand his character. I feel like we never really got a full background on why he's just this angry, crazy man, unless he's just always was an angry, crazy man, and now since he's immune, he can, like, be an angry, crazy man all the time. I don't know. And I'm not spoiling it that he's immune because he walks around without a suit on while he's with other people who have suits on. So it's very obvious very quickly. Plus, he's wearing his little yellow bracelet. But I just don't understand where his anger comes from, you know? He's so angry all the time. But, you know, the story overall, the plot, I was into it. I thought it was good. It was a fun post-apocalyptic thing. There's like a twist towards the end that honestly I didn't see coming. But then once it was revealed, I was like, oh, I should have seen it coming. So a lot of people will probably figure it out. My husband who watched it with me was like, yeah, I've kind of figured that out. It was kind of obvious. And I was like, oh, well, I just missed it. I just missed all the cues. I'm excited to go back and kind of watch it a second time once I'm able to, at least bits and pieces, just to try to piece that all together and see what I totally missed. But really, this is a love story in the heart of a pandemic. The problem is, I mean, I feel like the ending it falls a little flat. Well, it is sort of a happy ending. It's not really a happy ending. I mean, it doesn't give anyone any hope at all. It's kind of a weird ending, right? It just ends. It just cuts off, is how I felt anyway. But again, I do think everyone did a great job in it. I think for the most part, the acting was great. I think the sub-stories, it maybe got a little muddled here and there. There was a side story that I feel like didn't need to be told. However, I don't want to ruin it for you guys. But overall, it's fun, entertaining. It's something to do while you're stuck at home. I mean, a lot of places are going into second or third lockdowns here. So it's not going to, I don't think it's going to scare you to the point where you think this is where our future is headed, because it's just a little too over the top, which I almost think was on purpose. They didn't want it to hit too close to home to everybody, or a lot of people wouldn't watch it. You know, I wouldn't want to watch that. I'd be too scared, which is why I was scared to watch this in the first place. But I think it does a really good job of, it's an extreme, it's over the top. They're not trying to tell you this is our future, but it hits a little close to home, but not too close to home, so you can still enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, the ending kind of bothered me. I would have liked something a little more, but the twist was a lot of fun, something I did not see coming, and the journey along the way was good. The only main problem I have, I should say, is with that sanitation guy. Like, I don't get what like, who killed his dog in front of him? I don't know. He's an angry, angry man, and I don't get it, but it is what it is. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If by the time you get to this review, you've already seen the movie, give me your review. I want to know what you think. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. As always, you can follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Mama's Geeky over there. MAMASGEEKY. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys. Songbird is on premium video on demand tomorrow, December 11th. Check it out.